Our 3 cents.
Our 3 cents. Our 3 cents. That's sign language. That's sign language.
Michael's had too much of something over here. I don't know what it is.
I had a very big soda at the movies.
You need some coffee to calm yourself down.
Ooh, some crack. Liquid crack.
Yeah.
Anyway, all joking aside, let's get serious for a minute.
Yeah.
We watched a very, very serious movie, and we have some very poignant discussions to talk about this movie. Mostly how kick-ass it is.
Yeah. We finally got to go see Jurassic World.
As if you couldn't tell by the title of this video.
I guess I shouldn't really say finally. It's only been out for a week.
Yeah.
We're not that far behind on
Well,
it.
yeah, we finally got to go see it. Because we've been trying to go see this movie all week.
Mm-hmm.
But due to lack of time, because of our work schedules.
And money.
Lack of money.
Because,
we don't get paid for this.
Yeah.
We don't make tons of money doing this. In fact, we don't make any money doing this. So we have to actually still go to a 9-to-5 job. Well,
8 to 4 for me.
8 to 5, 11 to 8, whatever. We still put in a actual real work day.
Yeah.
So we had to wait for that magic every second Thursday, that magical day called payday.
And I don't really think we were planning on going tonight, but we were on the way to the comic book store.
And we passed by the movie theater.
Yeah. And Michael's all like, is Jurassic World in 3D? I'm like, yeah, I think it is. Let me look it up. And I looked up, I was like, if we hurry, we could make it to the 7 o'clock showing. It's only 6:15. So we went to the comic book shop and went.
Yep.
I'm like, well, okay,
just
let's go to
randomly
the movies.
Went. We tried to decide whether to go to Ridgemar, to the Rave, or go to Arlington, to the IMAX. And I'm sorry. Actually, I'm not sorry that I'm going to find a time and I'm going to go see that again in IMAX.
Well,
It's going to be, I'm so going to go do that.
You go for it. You're off like this weekend, aren't you?
No, I'm not.
But yeah, you go right on ahead. I'm just not ready to try IMAX again. That last time was just...
Well, it's a different IMAX. It's a different screen, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, Jurassic World.
Amazing.
I gotta say, first of all,
okay.
My friend, who I normally trust when it comes to movies, we usually have the same taste in movies. He posted that at least there's still one good Jurassic Park movie. I'm sorry, I must respectfully disagree with you. This is going to be one of those times that we just don't see eye to eye because it was awesome.
Mm-hmm. And I disagreed with him before I even went to go see it because I liked Lost World. It's not the strongest of them, although it is stronger than Part 3. But Lost World was still a very good one, and I think the reason why I hold that one in as high regard as I do is because it's actually still based on one of the novels, and Michael Crichton is my favorite author of all time. So I can't get past that. But Jurassic World, great, really great. Different for the franchise.
Mm-hmm. I have no comparison because I've only seen the first one.
Yeah.
Ever.
This one was it seemed to keep the same kind of internal conflict from the first one, which is science versus nature.
Yep.
But this one took it to an extreme that was not that it wasn't available when the first one came out, but the franchise wasn't ready for it because that was the beginning. They weren't ready for that much genetic engineering.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
do we want to keep this spoiler free?
Yeah, let's try to keep it as spoiler free as possible because it's still early in the run.
Okay.
In the first one, I mean, cloning was really just getting started. Well, I mean, obviously they've been experimenting with cloning for ever, since World War II at least.
Yeah.
Because the Nazis were experimenting with cloning.
Oh yeah.
But with Dolly in '97, Jurassic Park came out obviously in '94. They were really just kind of getting cloning started.
Yeah.
It was really starting to become a thing where you can actually do this.
And no matter what mumbo jumbo they gave, that's basically what the science behind the original Jurassic Park was.
Mm-hmm.
Was they were taking the idea of what cloning is, which is basically replicating DNA,
Mm-hmm.
and just taking it to a bigger scale.
Yep.
And then in this one we get the park is open.
Well, they've mastered it.
Yeah.
It's been 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
They've mastered the process of creating dinosaurs.
The park has been open, I would say, 10 years, probably.
Minimum 10 years, I would
Because it would have to been sometime after Jurassic Park 3 that the park opened, because it wasn't open yet in Part 3. So probably 10 years.
And we get this, like I said, conflict of there's a big issue with bigger is better debate in this movie, and corporate tie-ins.
Mm-hmm.
They touched in really good message there about corporate tie-ins, and how, like I've said when I've described baseball games, the whole world is going corporate, and it's taking the fun out of everything.
Yeah.
And what does it say? They say Nokia presents Nokiasaurus or something.
It was
Verizon.
Presents the Indominus Rex, and there was, oh my gosh, Starbucks was shown at least 4 or 5 times in this movie, and it wasn't as blatant in your face, but it was still there.
Yeah, you had to look for it. You had to look for it, but it's obvious when you see it.
And I'm sure that they at least got paid a little bit from Starbucks for having it in there, but I wonder if Starbucks realized that he was making a sociological sarcastic statement by putting them in there.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, the park's been open, so now they've genetically modified basically a super dinosaur.
Yes.
That gets loose.
And what the reason behind this is, like, every few years they have to invent a new attraction, and so to get park attendance back up, and to keep it flowing. And this time they went all super god, and
they went way overboard.
If you thought they were being bad playing God before, this is. They went one step too far.
Very much so.
When they crossbred what they did with what they did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's where the main conflict was, is that they created the idea of control was huge in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Way more so than the first one. Because the first one is, again, the only one that really takes place in a quote-unquote park.
Yeah.
Besides this one. The other two were just kind of free-range stuff. But it was even Bryce Dallas Howard's character, she embodied that we are in control here.
Mm-hmm.
We have a way to control this. And they created something that they have no control over.
Yes.
Whatsoever.
Possible control.
And
it took her forever to finally realize that, they don't have control over this.
It took at least about halfway through the movie.
I think it was when they showed the Brontosaurus die.
Yes. Oh.
Which was so heart-wrenching. It was
my God, yes.
I don't want feels in this movie. I just want a fun popcorn flick.
Which this is not. We maybe should have said that in the beginning. This is not the summer popcorn
Flick
movie.
that you think it's going to be.
It's really not. This is a movie that actually makes you think.
Mm-hmm.
And it actually gives you some pretty strong emotions.
It does.
Besides the Brontosaurus dying, the relationship between the two brothers.
Mm-hmm.
Just, this is...
The relationship between Chris Pratt's character Owen and the Velociraptors.
Oh gosh, I hadn't even gotten to Chris Pratt yet because
And let's just give one little spoiler. The Velociraptors are actually good in this movie. Where they were the bad dinosaurs before, they're the good dinosaurs this time.
Yeah, because they're being trained.
Mm-hmm.
And Chris Pratt is basically the Velociraptor whisperer.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
He is. I'm gonna admit something here in this video. Chris Pratt is my man crush. I am not ashamed to admit that. He's so great. He really is. He's just so great.
He's awesome.
He really is. Oh,
yeah.
And his character is great in this movie.
He's
and
funny, and he's a little sarcastic.
Uh-huh. And I noticed, I didn't really think about it until we got home. He's basically playing the Ian Malcolm for this one.
Mm-hmm.
He is the one that's saying, you need to respect nature, you need to respect these dinosaurs. His thing isn't necessarily need to respect nature, his is these are animals.
Yeah.
You're treating them like property. Which, I mean, hell, they actually say, some of the characters actually say at one point during the movie, they're property.
Mm-hmm.
They're my property. And he's like, no, they're animals.
They're living beings.
Yeah.
With feelings and emotions.
And most importantly, instincts.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, and that was the big thing, something, the big animal gets out of containment and he's like, well, what did you expect?
You've raised him by himself.
Yeah, you raised him in confinement. He has no idea what's going on. And I love that line where he said he has no idea what any of this is, talking about him being outside confinement. He's like, he's just going on instinct, and he's trying to find his place
in the food chain.
And you're not going to like it when he does.
Mm-hmm. There was a lot to think about in this movie. I was not expecting something so deep.
Yeah.
But yeah, we talk about business, business ethics,
Mm-hmm.
Sociological issues, moral issues,
Mm-hmm.
Relationships,
ethics of science
over nature over science, nature versus nurture, really, and nature versus nurture as well.
Yeah.
And it's just, there's just so much. It's really so deep. I mean, I think you're going to have to watch it a couple of times to really be able to catch everything.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
And see, even that car outside is like, what? And I don't really know what to say without spoiling stuff.
Yeah.
Because the ending is awesome.
The ending is awesome. When you find out what the big twist is, you're like, what the blah blah?
Yeah, what the blah blah.
Very much so. Strong performances
Mm-hmm.
in this too. Even the kids who are always the ones that you're like, what are you gonna do? Why is there always kids? There's always kids in Jurassic Park movies?
I don't know.
But
And they were not nearly as annoying as the other kids in the first one.
oh no, much better, much
Yeah.
better. But I mean, even their performances were incredibly strong.
Mm-hmm.
I was not expecting. I did not. Well, not that I wasn't expecting, but I did not know that friggin' Vincent D'Onofrio was in this.
Mm-hmm.
That was a shock. But he, he played his character like he always plays a character.
Yeah, an a-hole.
Yeah, he does such a good job with doing that.
He's a dirty a-hole.
But
What else?
I don't know.
What else can we say without spoiling it?
I don't really.
Besides the fact that it's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to talk about it does really, really well with, as the movie flows, it starts out like you kind of see it from the child's point of view, like the younger child's point of view, who's so like excited and just like a kid in a candy store kind of type
Yeah,
situation, because he's really into dinosaurs. And you get there and
he's kind of like Tim from the first one.
yeah, he's very smart about dinosaurs,
Yes.
but not as annoying. Oh my god, that kid was annoying. And you see him, you see it from like a child's point of view, all the wonder and awe and everything. And as it keeps moving along, it gradually gets towards the older kid's point of view,
Mm-hmm.
and then it eventually goes toward an adult's point of view.
Yeah.
It flows amazingly as far as that's concerned. And the other thing I wanted to talk about was the use of the camera work. Like
Oh,
when the
my
raptors
gosh.
are running through
That
the
was
forest.
awesome. Especially in 3D, that was so good.
Yeah, because they attach cameras to the raptors' heads, and so you're seeing it from their point of view.
Yeah, and it's in like night vision,
Yeah,
which I mean is obviously what the cameras on their head are supposed to be, but that's how you're seeing it. The screen is actually green like
Yeah.
that, and that was a great shot.
that was a great sequence. That was a whole great sequence.
Uh-huh.
And they go back. They actually go back to Jurassic Park.
Yes, that was.
This is called Jurassic World, but because it encompasses like almost the entire island.
Yeah.
But they actually go back to Jurassic Park.
Yes.
And
very
I'm glad it
much
was-
wanted to talk about that too.
A Jurassic Park T-shirt.
Yeah. Yes.
But they actually go back to Jurassic Park. So go ahead and you talk on that for a few minutes.
Well, that part, while it excited me, it made me feel a little bit of hatred for the characters in the movie, because they literally buried Jurassic Park. The original. What we're talking about specifically is the visitor center, is where they go.
Mm-hmm. And it's not taken care of. It's overgrown.
Yeah.
It's blended back into the jungle.
Yeah, it literally got buried and overtaken by Jurassic World. But that visitor center is the reason why the four main characters are actually able to survive. And then the kids just go in and they're like, oh, the old Jeeps. Well, let's just fix one up. And they just fix up a Jeep and get it running again. I'm like, I'm 32. I can barely change my oil. I can barely put gas in my car. These kids are all like, oh, well, what's wrong here?
Yeah, it's like, hey, remember that summer we fixed Dad's Malibu?
Like,
Yeah, let's fix a 92 Jeep.
yeah, I'm like, you're 16 and 10. Seriously. But,
But,
whatever.
conveniently written in character trait.
Yeah. And there was, they went, there were, when the Rex breaks into the aviary, that was a nice little nod to Jurassic Park 3.
Okay.
Too, because the aviary played a part in the end, although it wasn't as it was in that movie.
Yeah.
But just the mention of the aviary, because that's the only time in all three movies up to that point where they actually talked about
Flying dinosaurs.
Flying dinosaurs. You mean you see a couple here and there, but the third one was the first introduction of pterodactyls. So that was a nice little nod, because the third one also takes place on the same island.
Yeah.
It's Isla Nublar. The second one is the only one that didn't take place there.
And when the bird dinosaurs, the pterodactyls and the pterodons and all the ptera somethings were attacking, and that's not a spoiler because it's in the trailer.
Yeah.
I was thinking, Terry from Pee-wee's Playhouse, he's eating people!
Terry from Pee-wee's Playhouse?
Was eating people
Oh.
because he was a pterodactyl.
Oh, I was thinking of Terry from Land Before Time.
Oh, okay.
The pterodactyl from Land Before Time. That's where I was going. That's what I thought of. I'm like, oh no, man. The
both of our childhoods are ruined now.
Mine was a ruin. I'm like, man, they grew up. They got me. All right, get back at them, some bitches. I'm sorry. You can have Bambi's death all you want to. Littlefoot's mother's death.
Oh no!
Oh, right there.
All the feels.
Yeah. But
So
anyway,
on that happy note, Jurassic World is definitely worth seeing.
Yep, very much so.
I think one of these days we're gonna review a movie that sucks, and we won't recommend it. I think. Either that, or we just have good taste in movies.
We don't really watch bad movies that often.
No, we don't.
Even the few bad movies that we've reviewed, we still like,
Yeah.
and we still recommend it. But I will leave you with a glorious quote from the original Jurassic Park that really helps sum up what this movie is about. From Dr. Ian Malcolm. Your scientists were so concerned with whether they could that they didn't stop to think if they should. That is a great sum up for what this movie is all about. So
thank you for watching.
go see it. Be sure to see it in 3D.
Blessed be.